Day 3 on the Pacific Crest Trail. I don't know it yet, but my day is about to turn to shit. But first things first. The Pacific Crest Trail is a long-distance backpacking trail that spans the entire west coast from Mexico to Canada. And Section J in Washington is this tiny section. Going southbound, it starts at Stevens Pass and ends at Snoqualmie Pass. Section J is about 120 kilometers. Thru hikers will do it in 4 days. Runners will do it in 3 days. But we're not thru hikers, we're not runners, we are section hikers. And our goal is not to do it as fast as possible. Our goal is to enjoy it as long as possible. So our plan is to do it in 7 days. That's as much food as our bear canisters can take. Our destination is the Laconia Market and Cafe. And our starting point is the Stevens Pass Ski Center. The Northwestern stage lines took us here from Seattle, and after lunch and trail registration, the adventure begins. The air is free of wildfire smoke, which is surprising given all the smoke we saw a few days ago as we were flying into Seattle. Our destination today is Mig Lake, 11 kilometers away. First impressions. Being here is so awesome. The weather is perfect. Spirits are high. We are full of energy. We started our day well rested and clean. I feel I could do the entire PCT. This feeling will rapidly change. Along with me are my wife Renee and our friend Alan, two highly experienced backpackers. Surprise! Renee finds a credit card on the side of the trail. If anybody lost his or her credit card, let us know. "11 kilometers may not sound like much, but with the elevation gain, it's a good workout. The scenery is so breathtaking, I can't see myself growing tired of it. Arrival at Mig Lake. It has a reputation for being buggy, but since we are in early September, there are hardly any mosquitoes. A moonless, starry night is like icing on the cake for our first day. A couple of true hikers arrived in camp yesterday evening. They're gone already. Alan and I are planning to do another section of the PCT after this one, while Renee will be flying back home. This is why Renee and I are in separate tents. Today, we have 17 kilometers to get to Deception Lakes. We should be there by late afternoon, so we're not in too much of a hurry to get going. Getting to Trap Pass is a long grind up, but hey, what a view! Just before going over Trap Pass, we get a stunning view of Trap Lake. Hours pass, and while we are making good progress, we will arrive later than expected. The sun is starting to come down. In the distance, Glacier Peak. As we reach Piper Pass, we have a completely unexpected and unusual encounter. We meet Ray, a young woman from Seattle, hiking with her cat Tushar on top of her backpack. Ray tells us her cat weighs just under 6 kilos, and with the cat food and her backpack, she hauls 27 kilos on her back. Tushar has an Instagram account, and Ray hands us his account name on a business card. Once we are over Piper Pass, it's downhill to Deception Lakes, which we reach not a moment too soon. It's 6:15 p.m. Deception Lakes are quite busy with other hikers, but we have no problem finding a campsite. We are again blessed with a starry night. Our first 2 days were more exhausting than expected. I'm already starting to question the sanity of doing this hike. On the plus side, our backpacks are getting a little lighter every day. Our destination today is Deep Lake, just under 20 kilometers away. The day starts with a long downhill hike, which is welcome. In the distance, we see Cathedral Rock. This will be the focal point of our day. Every day, we meet maybe 5 to 15 northbound hikers. Some are section hikers like us. Some are through hikers who started 6 months ago and are about to finish when they reach Canada in about 2 weeks. As we make our way down the valley, we cross some streams which aren't a challenge since the water level is low. Prior to doing this hike, I had read that crossing streams early in the season is quite dangerous and prone to injuries. But right now, I'm on such a high that I have no thoughts for such possibility. Besides, we are in early September. How could crossing the stream pose any danger? We get to a stream that has a bit more flow, and we look around trying to see where we can cross without getting our feet wet. This stream does not have a name, so I'll call it Danger Creek. Alan finds a way, and so does Renee. Now it's my turn to cross. I decide to cross where Renee did just a moment earlier. I see that there are several options for rocks to step on. As I look around, I see one that looks promising. It's not as close as I'd like, but if I extend my stride, I should have no problem reaching it, and my next step will be on the other side of the stream. The rock is just below the water and flat on top, but I'll be able to step on it and get to the other side without getting my feet wet. Without the slightest concern, I extend my stride to put my foot on that rock. As soon as my foot makes contact with the rock, my foot starts slipping. Being off balance because I extended my stride, I start falling in what feels like slow motion. As I slowly fall down, I can feel my right hamstring being strained, and I know this is not good. To get an idea of what it's like to slip on a rock, imagine that someone grabs your foot and pulls it away from you. Add the weight of the backpack on your back, and I can assure you that when you start slipping, there's nothing you can do to stop it. So here I am in the water. I know full well that I just injured myself badly and stupidly. This could compromise the rest of the week. I detach my backpack and try to get myself on my feet again. Stunningly, once I'm on my feet, I feel no pain whatsoever. This is too good to be true. And yes, it is too good to be true. As soon as I try to take a step forward, I feel an excruciating pain in my right hamstring. With Renee's assistance, I drag myself to the side of the trail and sit down to assess the situation. We decide to have lunch. Maybe after lunch, I'll be able to slowly stagger to our next campsite. I'm thinking, what are my options? I have a Garmin inReach with an active subscription, but the last thing I want to do is press the SOS button. I don't know the cost of a helicopter extraction out of here, but I'm sure it's not cheap. Besides, I'm not in any immediate danger. I don't have anything broken, I'm not bleeding, I'm just disabled. No need to say I'm feeling like shit. After an hour, I try to get up again and see if I can start walking. Again, as soon as I try to take it one step forward, I feel this excruciating pain in my hamstring. Clearly, I'm not going anywhere. I put my hand under my right thigh and apply pressure to try and lift my right leg. To my complete surprise, the pain goes from excruciating to tolerable. I tell this to Renee, and we try to figure out how to jury-rig an ace bandage around my thigh. Renee pulls out my spare pair of pants, and we wrap it around my thigh. Seems to work. I am able to take a couple steps. By sheer coincidence, another hiker happens to be passing by, and she's a physiotherapist. I lie down. She checks my leg to try and see the extent of the damage. She patches my thigh with athletic tape the best she can. We have a little over 10 kilometers to go to our next campsite. I take a look on Far Out, and there's another campsite just 2.5 kilometers away. If we can make it to that one, then we'll be in much better shape than here in the middle of a rock field. So we get going. I stagger the best I can. Poor Alan hikes ahead with my backpack and puts it down periodically, then hikes back to get his backpack and carry it forward, leapfrogging both backpacks. As the minutes go by and I start making ground, I reach my backpack that Alan dropped a little earlier and try to put it on my back. I can hold the weight and continue. Not fast, but at least Alan will not have to carry 2 backpacks all the way to our next campsite. I make it to the intermediate campsite indicated on Far Out, but sadly, no water. The nearby stream is completely dried out. In the meantime, Renee ran into another hiker who happened to have an ace bandage in his first aid kit. He hands it over, and we replace my spare pair of pants around my thigh with a proper ace bandage. I wish I had taken a few pictures of the campsite because it was really nice, but you'll understand that taking pictures and shooting video is not really on my mind right now. Besides, my GoPro and my mirrorless camera have stopped working when they fell in the water when I slipped. All I have left for the rest of the hike is my phone. So we get going again. With each passing minute, I feel better and better. There's actually a chance I'll be able to walk out of this mess on my own feet. I still feel like shit for the stupidity of that accident and the burden I'm putting on Renee and Alan. But there is hope. As I move along, I am mesmerized by Cathedral Rock. I tell myself, I have to take a picture of this. And there, I pull out my phone and take my first post-accident picture. Lo and behold, we make it to Deep Lake shortly before dark. We set up our tents and have dinner with our headlamps in the darkness. After a reasonably good night, we wake up to beautiful glassy water on Deep Lake. Cathedral Rock is in the background. The water is super inviting, but there's a lot of dead wood in the water that would make swimming difficult. We have a seahorse in our camp. We break down camp. Deep Lake is truly beautiful. Our next destination is Waptus River, and it's only 11 kilometers away. And not only that, it's downhill all the way. In my misfortune, how much luckier could I get? We can see that the air isn't as clear as on the previous days. Wildfire smoke is moving in. As we hike down the valley, the temperature and humidity rise. We take advantage of every bit of shade we can find. By late morning, it is suffocating. We feel the temperature with the humidex must be in the mid-30s. Anytime we see a spring or puddle of water, we wet a piece of cloth and place it around our neck to try and cool down. If there's one thing I'll remember from this day, it is how we don't seem to be able to quench our thirst, and the water we are collecting from spring is so tasty. Must have a perfect combination of minerals. Another hiker passing by informs us that there's a bear on the trail, about 10 minutes in front of us. By the time we get there, the bear is gone. Arrival at Waptus River in mid-afternoon. This early arrival gives us time to set up camp and relax. Have you ever seen Renee with a wider grin? We also take advantage of the nearby river to clean ourselves, cool down, and do a little bit of laundry. Now, I have serious concerns over the next day. We'll have to hike up 900 meters, and if the temperature tomorrow is anything like what we experienced today, it will be extremely difficult. We decide to get up really early tomorrow morning and take advantage of the cooler hours to hike up the next mountain. We are ready to go at dawn. Our next campsite is Lemah Meadows, 22 kilometers away, with a 900 meters ascent. Today is essentially an up and down. Notice how the climb is regular. The PCT is designed to allow people to do it with horses. The climbs are graded so they don't exceed 7 to 8%. To our delight, the temperature dropped during the night. We take it slow on the ascent. By the time the sun rises above the mountain to the east, we have covered 2 kilometers and 150 meters of elevation gain. And it seems, as we continue to climb, that the temperature remains constant and comfortable.
Oh wow! Oh, c'est magnifique!
As we climb up, the sight of Bear's Breast Mountain is breathtaking. And the wildfire smoke is increasingly visible. Only one thing can stop Renee, a blueberry patch. By the time we reach the top, it is lunchtime and conveniently, Cooper River is right there as a source of water. As we hike to the other side of the mountain, just prior to heading down the valley, we get a stunning view of the glaciers on the other side of the valley. The peaks on the other side are called Lemah Mountain and Chimney Rock. This 22-kilometer day is taking its toll. And finally, we make it to Lemah Meadows by end of afternoon. We are again ready to go at dawn. We run into another hiker who informs us that a bridge ahead of us has been washed out. Somehow, my mind refuses to accept this information. I choose to cross first. With my injured leg, I will not try to cross by stepping on rocks. Wearing my sandals, I cross with my feet firmly planted at the bottom of the creek. Renee crosses next. Followed by Alan. We all make it across safely. Today is going to be our longest day with 24 kilometers and 1,400 meters of elevation gain. We decide we're not going to stick together all the time. We will hike at our own pace, stopping when we feel like it, continuing when we feel like it, eating, drinking, and taking pictures when we feel like it. Renee and I will end up leapfrogging each other all day. Alan chooses early on to take on a side trail and go see Spectacle Lake. For this reason, he will be behind us for the rest of the day. We cross an area that was subject to a forest fire in recent years. It's a long grind up, but the scenery is spectacular. As I reach the top, I can see Spectacle Lake down below. Renee stops for lunch, and so do I. After lunch, I stop by a pool of water to refill my water bottles. Being able to do this without anyone around me truly gives me the experience of what it's like to hike the PCT solo. In the distance, I see Renee has also stopped to refill her water bottles. Contrary to the previous days where we often hiked in the forest, we hike along the side of mountains, giving us incredible vistas. Now, I happen to have a fear of heights. Little by little, I become increasingly uncomfortable. I feel exposed and vulnerable. Despite being smoke-filled, the views are well worth the discomfort I feel from my fear of heights. We've reached the highest point on today's leg, 1,631 meters according to Renee's watch. My GPS says 1,792 meters. The map says 1,829 meters. As we start coming down, the sun is also starting to come down. My GPS tells me we have 3 kilometers to go to Ridge Lake, our next campsite. No sweat. As we hike around Joe Lake, I am relieved to see the distance to go come down. 2 kilometers, 1 kilometer. I ask a northbound hiker where he's heading. He first replies he's going to Canada. And when I ask him where he's heading today, he replies he's going down the valley and that he might have to do a stretch in the dark. Indeed, he has many kilometers to go before the valley, and he's not going to see any of the vistas we saw. Distance to go on the GPS, 500 meters, and then 0. But wait, we haven't reached Ridge Lake. Crap! I switch over to the map and I see we still have 2.5 kilometers to go to Ridge Lake. I must have picked the wrong waypoint for today's route. Crap. The sun is coming down below the horizon. I'm in a semi-state of panic. I switch to higher gear and accelerate. I'm not going to arrive in the dark. Despite my injury, I am probably hiking faster and harder than I normally would. I make it to Ridge Lake with a little bit of sunlight left. I drop my backpack at the campsite about 150 meters off the main trail, then I go back to the main trail. Renee is about 15 minutes behind me. I yell her name down the valley in her direction. I hear her reply, asking me to turn on my headlamp. I turn it on, and then I see a dot in the darkness. That's her. She reaches me about 10-15 minutes later. Now, what about Alan? We haven't seen him since the morning. Alan's a very experienced hiker. We are feeling a little bit uneasy, but we're sure he's not in trouble. It's not unheard of for Alan to arrive at his destination in complete darkness. So 2 possibilities. He may have decided to stop at one of the earlier campsites and we'll only see him tomorrow morning. Or he decided to continue in the dark until he reaches Ridge Lake. For the latter possibility, the danger is that he's going to miss the side trail to the Ridge Lake campsites. Even in daylight, the side trail is easily missed because the trail is just rocks here. Renee suggests that we have dinner by the side of the trail. If Alan has not shown up by the time we are done with dinner, we'll leave my bare barrel on the trail with a message on top telling him to take the side trail to the campsites. So dinner is prepared and eaten. As we start picking things up, I look up and I see a white dot in the darkness. This is Alan. He made it. We all head down to the campsites and set up the tents. Alan chews on a bit of ready-to-eat food and we all crash into bed. Last day on the trail. 12 kilometers to go, almost all downhill. Goodbye, Ridge Lake. The wildfire smoke is mostly gone. Today will be just as spectacular as yesterday, if not even more so. A bit unexpectedly, we start hearing a whistler, also known as a hoary marmot. As we continue forward, we reach an area called the Kendall Catwalk. While the cliff is far steeper and deeper than yesterday, it doesn't trigger my fear of heights as much as yesterday, and it's because the path is level and wide enough that I don't feel overly exposed. Once we are past the knife edge, we know it's downhill all the way to the end, hence our large smiles. As we go down, the cloud-covered valley is spectacular. The path is narrower, and my fear of heights kicks in. It will stay with me until we reach the forest. In the distance, Mount Rainier. A road. First sign of civilization in 7 days. And the Laconia Market and Cafe, where our friend Julie is waiting for us and will be taking us back to Seattle. So, after a week on the PCT, we are pretty wiped out. We had planned to do another section, but with my injury, it's just not wise to continue. Was Section J worth it? Well, totally. Looking forward to doing other sections of the PCT.